What's going on, everybody? Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. Let me do a quick sound check here. Yeah, I think yeah. I think the sound is good. Okay, check it out, man. Right, check this out. Yesterday, I had to cut the stream short. I was talking to Brian, but like the boxing came on and I had to leave. I will be starting a new wrestling channel. So when I go live to talk wrestling, right? Those that don't want to hear about the wrestling and just are here for the boxing stuff, which I understand, right? You don't have to worry about the notification. So this will be the last notification you'll get for a wrestling video on this channel. But I'll be starting a new channel. I don't have the channel yet, but I'll put it in the community page or something, and I'll share it and all that when it's out. With that said, ECW was trash. All right. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Today's wrestling is even worse. All right. Andre Rodriguez, how's it going, brother? How you doing, brother? Not a fan of these things, man. And I have some other thoughts, of course. Let's start with ECW. Start with that. And we'll see if anyone happens to come on that wants to talk some wrestling. I'll throw the link out there. You know what I mean? So look, if you happen to run into this video, whether it's now live or whether it's on archive in the future, and you were like a big ECW fan, all right? All I want to tell you is that there's nothing wrong with you liking what they presented. There's nothing wrong with liking the product that ECW was. I just have a fundamental disagreement with you about ECW, and I was never a fan of it myself, right? I like some talents out of ECW. You know, I thought RVD was really good. I liked Raven. I liked Taz a little bit. Not really crazy about some of the other guys, to be honest. I like the Dudley Boys. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Now, a couple of things ECW guys tell me whenever I'm trashing ECW, right? Like, and it's but DStyle, you see, it wasn't all about share shots and tables and fire and thumbtacks and broken necks and not getting paychecks and being broke, and it wasn't about that. It was, I mean, there was some really good technical matches on ECW. So first of all, before it was called Extreme Championship Wrestling, it was called Eastern Championship Wrestling. Okay. So yes, there was a lot of really good wrestling before it became Extreme Championship Wrestling. And yes, there was a lot of good wrestling on there, just like there's good wrestling in every promotion, if you look enough. Yes, the Eddie Guerreros, and yes, the Chris Jerichos, and yes, the Rey Mysterios worked there before they went to WCW. Okay. But guess what? Nobody knew about it. No, nobody knew about those guys until they went to WCW, guys. What's going on, L Dub? Again, anybody wants to join, I can throw the link out there. So, of course there was, but that's not what put ECW on the map, and it's not. It wasn't the chain wrestling matches or the technical matches or anything like that. Okay, it was the share shots. Okay, it was the Kindle sticks. Okay, it was the tables. It was the thumbtacks. It was the blood. It was the fire. All right, it was the broken bones. That's what attracted people. The car crash is what attracted people to ECW. So you could spare me. Okay, how about that? Spare me the no they did. That's really good wrestling matches. Like yeah, that's not why people watched it. All right, you can drop it. What's going on, Bruce Goes? I'm offering the link if anybody wants to jump on. Just let me know in chat. right? So that's one. Second, ECW struck me like the guys that couldn't be top stars in the bigger companies, outside of a few, you know, that were the big hot shots in this promotion. And then so they created like a little cult for themselves. Until this day, like it's just retarded. Yeah, I don't like it. All right. Like they feel like I don't know, man. Sabu's like that, and Dreamers like that, and Sandman's like that. Like, they got like this. I don't want to call it elitist attitude, right? Because they weren't elitist, uh, but they were like. Have you ever heard them talk about ECW? Like they talk about it like if it was some movement or some shit. You know, they talk about it like if it was some like experience, like some like a cause of something, you know. And I always find that ridiculous. Like I just do. Like what do you mean? What a cause of what? Like we believed in the cause. Like what was the cause? What was it exactly? I should be Bruce Goes. I don't know how long, but I mean, just let me know how long, and I should wait. What was this cause that they were like if they were in a foxhole together fighting, you know, like some machine or some. Let me tell you something. ECW was the home where these wrestlers got mutilated. They got necks broken. They got no paychecks. They broke their bones. They bled. They put their bodies through all this torture and pain. And for what? I mean, just it's fascinating to me. And then like they were never making money. The only time they were making fucking money was when they were working with Vince. And he was letting them come to Monday Night Raw. And that's it. The pay-per-view sales are okay, but those sales, like, they would be considered failures for WWF and all that. You know what I mean? That's what that would be considered in those days, anyway. You know what I mean? So I never understand. I never understood the cause. I never understood like, oh, we felt like we were part of something. Like part of what? Can you explain it? It wasn't a revolution because you weren't taking over anything. So what were you a part of? Exactly. What were these guys a part of? What was the cause? What was it? What were they railing and fighting against? They were fighting against the WWF? Against WCW? Okay, why? Well, why were they fighting WWF and WCW? What were they doing to them that they had to fight against this machine? These things are never explained. Okay? Yes, at their little bingo halls, they would make people go crazy because of all the crazy spots, bro. Right? All this crazy shit they were watching. People being put through multiple tables, jumping off balconies, and all this crazy ass shit that did nothing for them. Other than get a cheap pop on the cheap ass fans. Okay? In the stands. That's I don't want to generalize, but a lot of ECW fans come off as cheap to me. Okay? Do you understand? Because if you motherfuckers weren't cheap, WCW would be turning profits. These wrestlers gave you their bodies. And all you did was call them sellouts when they went to actually go get paid. They had families, people. These wrestlers have a family back home. These wrestlers have kids to feed, to put a roof over their head. They could have just wrestled for Paul Heyman for free and getting injured and mutilating themselves. Yet somehow you have a fan base that's like, that just romanticizes ECW. Oh, ECW. I mean, ECW is where it's at, you know. ECW would have taken over. Like that was a dream. That's right, L-Dub. WWF did bankroll Paul Heyman and ECW, something like a farm system. Okay? The only net positives for so many years were money Vince was giving them. Okay? That's just the truth. And we'll go over a couple of wrestlers here. One of them, Mike Awesome. Okay, I remember when Mike Awesome looked like this big, unstoppable force in ECW, right? You know, because he was a lot bigger than everybody in ECW. But they gave him the championship. Okay? They give Mike Awesome the championship. He's the ECW champion. He wasn't getting paid. Do you guys not understand this? Even if you love what ECW was giving you, you got to say to yourself, yeah, I was kind of fucked up. Okay? So what does he do? Mike Awesome has bills back home to pay. Okay? Mike Awesome has a family to take care of. And he's giving his body to Al Heyman and to these rabid ECW fans. And he's not making any money. So he signs a deal with ECW. I'm sorry, with WCW. Who gives him a guaranteed contract with money so now he could pay the bills. That's just the truth. Mr. Williams there, I appreciate that membership, brother. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, brother. Like that's the truth, guys. Yet, till this day, I hear ECW fans call him a sellout. Like, oh, he left the cause. What fucking cause? Al Heyman managed to work a bunch of fucking rabid fans, people, and even some of his own wrestlers, right? He worked them. He created a cult. He had people believing that that's perfectly okay. That it's perfectly normal to work for somebody for months and not get paid because you're fighting for a cause. What cause? Heyman. Okay? By the way, Paul Heyman. I hope I haven't been calling him Al Heyman. Paul Heyman. Jay Marshall says Fat Chick Thriller, Michael. I remember that gimmick. They couldn't do much with Mike Awesome in WCW because he wasn't the biggest guy anymore. Okay? And he was he was okay in the ring. I mean, yeah, he was good. He was good. He was better than Sid Vicious, I'll tell you that. Okay, overrated ass Sid Vicious. But they could have done something with him, but he wasn't the monster that he was in ECW. It is what it is. Okay? But you know what he was getting? He was getting a paycheck. Al Heyman is a genius. I will not take that away from him. Oh my God. Paul Heyman. Sorry, guys. I cover boxing a lot. And when I say Heyman, like Al comes out. Paul Heyman. All right? Paul Heyman is a genius, okay? He is. And he knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to work people. He knows how to work wrestlers. He convinced wrestlers, okay? Like dudes would come out, put their bodies in the line for the guy, okay? 20, 30-minute matches, going through thumbtacks and tables and all this shit, okay? Like, just think about that for a second. Imagine putting your body through flaming tables, thumbtacks, jumping off ladders, and all that shit, right? Plex, that's funny. What's going on, LT? Imagine doing all that. You're expecting your paycheck and you don't get paid, but Al Heyman, he convinces you to keep doing it for months because you're doing it for the cause. This motherfucker created a cult. That fan base, which was not that big, but it was a cult, right? Compared to WWF and WCW fan base, it wasn't big at all, right? But WCW and WWF fans were just fans, okay? ECW people were cults, okay? That's what they were. They were fucking cults, right? The fans were a cult. The wrestlers became a cult, all right? Like, these motherfuckers think they're too good to be at WrestleMania. Like, that's just stupid, bro. When I hear them say shit like that, oh, I'd rather be at a bingo hall once again than wrestle at WrestleMania. Like, you gotta be a fucking moron to say shit like that. I'm sorry. Okay? That's right, Cholo Boxing. That's facts right there. But they did do it all the time. That's the problem. Come on, Boxing Dialogue. Stop, brother. This statement right here has to be a troll job. Come on now. Oh, yeah, he's up there with Bret Hart and all them. You know what I mean? It's funny, though. CCW, have seen some of that. Bro, it's ridiculous, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to watch real fighting, hey, there's boxing, there's MMA and all that, right? I can't stand the wrestling fans. No, it's real. It's real. I saw a wrestling match where the guy took 4 or 5 hair shots in the head. It's real. Like, why do you want these wrestlers to take multiple chair shots, in the head for? What does that do for you? Do you, like, I honestly believe a lot of ECW fans, not all of them, love seeing people take pain. Like, they have like a fetish for watching people take pain. Like, you probably watch videos of people get beheaded or some shit. Okay? Like that's what I feel. Okay? You probably think like it's cool when the dudes crash a NASCAR. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you probably think that's cool. Like that's what it reminds me of. You know what I mean? No, NASCAR. Yeah, NASCAR. They're athletes. They're athletes. Look at the crashes. It's exciting. Like, what is that? Why you watch it, brother? You watch it because of the crashes? It's supposed to be a work. They're not supposed to be putting themselves through pain. I would cringe when I would hear wrestling fans say shit like, no, don't call wrestling fake. Did you see Mick Foley? He went through the cage and he almost died. These wrestlers put their life on the line. Now, let me say this. Wrestling, yes, one move goes wrong, a motherfucker could break his neck, right? And he could be paralyzed for life. Absolutely. Right? It's very serious. It's already dangerous as it is. Right? But if you get professionals that know what they're doing, very rarely does that happen. They shouldn't be mutilating each other. They shouldn't be fucking like purposely hurting each other. Like, don't you understand? Don't you get it? So you want everybody to start throwing themselves from tables and from like Hell in the Cells and all that other shit? What happened with Vince on top of Hell in a Cell was an accident. It shouldn't have happened. And that's it. Okay? I believe the spot with the table was real, like, as far as he planned that. But it should have ended right there. Right? I see spots in ECW where guys were on top of the ladders, okay? And like, and then when I look at each other and throw themselves together, like, it's just stupid, dude. I'm sorry. All right? Doesn't make sense. Jesus, Sam, it was boring, brother, but it is what it is. I thought the fight was close, though. That's right. You redeemed yourself, Pasidala. Most guys with skills like Rey Mysterio and Chris Benoit did CCW when they realized it was a circus show. All right? Let me tell you something, bro. Look, I don't even like Triple H, okay? But the triple threat with Triple H, Shawn Michaels in it, and Chris Benoit, right? And spare me. Like, the people are like, oh, don't say the name. Like, shut up, okay? Yes, the dude's a fucking murderer and lost his mind. Was probably suffering from brain damage, but I don't see anybody saying, hey, don't mention Superfly Jimmy Snuka. That motherfucker murdered somebody, okay? So spare me. So anyway, people still say O.J. Simpson's name. Just because WCW erased him from the book doesn't mean we can't mention his name on YouTube videos. But anyway, that triple threat at WrestleMania was the best shit, like better than anything Chris Benoit did in ECW, okay? Period. Up and down. Now let's talk about today's wrestling, because compared to today's wrestling, I mean, ECW was amazing. You know what I mean? But like, yes and no, Now, granted, just a reminder to everybody, ECW had already died. It was already a failure, okay? It came back with WWE put the money up for them to do One Night Stand again, right? It should have stayed with that. They shouldn't have continued it, right? But the reality is, when they say, "Oh, Vince killed it," like, it was already dead, dude. Okay, it's just saying Vince killed WCW. Like, I mean, it kind of died on its own. You know what I mean? Was Mick Foley a good wrestler to you, or did he just do a lot of crazy shit? Mick Foley was, first of all, here's what I'll say about Mick Foley. And I know Joe Lopez put Cactus Axe greater than Mankind. He made the Mankind character work, like he really did. Like, the promos on the Mankind were really good. Like you guys should watch the Mankind interview with JR. That's just pretty good. And they incorporate, like, how he became Mankind, like how they incorporated, like, the Dude Love from when he wanted to be a wrestler, to, like, Cactus Jack, and how all those death matches, etc., which I'm not a fan of either. Okay, but they at least incorporated that into how he became Mankind. Before the Hell in a Cell crazy shit that he did and all that, Mick Foley had some really good matches with The Undertaker, good matches with Shawn Michaels. So the Duke could work. The Duke could work. All right. So I agree, Bruce goes. It was just a waiting. That's what Stone Cold did. He went on, okay, I'll cut some promos on ECW. That's all he did on ECW. That's all he did. Yeah, they did the crucifixion. Like, that was so stupid, bro. Okay, but yeah, Angle was like, I'm out. I'm glad Angle didn't do ECW. Like, he would have had a shorter career. Like, dude already had a bad neck. Imagine like Paul Heyman getting his hands on him. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Let's put out of his misery. Absolutely. Look, ECW, the product they had in WWF just sucked. I agree with that. You know what I mean? So look, yeah, he did in WWE though. You know what I mean? That wasn't really. You know what ECW on WWF was? It was really the original NXT. That's really what it was. You know what I mean? And that's what it became. For those that don't know. So Paul Heyman is really good in the mic, Cholo. There's no doubt about that. Paul Heyman is one of the best in the mic. Really good. He's a genius, like I said. Paul Heyman convinced a bunch of people, a whole cult of fans and wrestlers that they have a cause to fight for. So go out there and go through all those tables for me, through those flaming tables and through thumbtacks, and go break your neck, go break your bones, go mutilate yourself for me, please. Go break the fuck out of yourself. Give me your blood, sweat, and your fucking tears. Give me your bones, your broken bones. I don't got the money right now, but I promise you, man, this is bigger than money. This is bigger than the family you have back at home. This is bigger than the people you need to feed. This is the cause. Listen to those fans. See how they chanted for you? They chanted ECW, ECW, ECW. It's for them. They're calling him a sellout. They were calling Mike Awesome a sellout because he went to go get a paycheck. Taz left for a paycheck too. Taz called Vince and was like, "Yo, can I come work for you, brother? Like, I ain't getting paid." You guys believed in the cause that they would rather wrestle in a fucking ballroom, okay, in front of like 2,000 people than at WrestleMania at a state. Like, you can't be serious here. They got worked, bro. Not even Al Heyman. Paul Heyman. Not even Paul Heyman. I have to buy a liquor thing, bro, and I have to take a shot every time I say Al Heyman instead of Paul Heyman. Okay? But anyway. What's going on, H Money? H, I got a third guest lined up for Tuesday, but if I'm not able to get them, I could probably fit that fighter that they told me about. If not, I'll get him next week, brother. Cholo, 40 ounce. I enjoyed Dudley Boy matches. Taz, RVD, Sabu. Look, Sabu was a talented guy, but what did he do? All I ever saw from Sabu was like a crazy spot. You know what I mean? That's mostly what I saw from Sabu. Spot fest. Oh my God, he's gonna go through all these ladders or some crazy shit like that, or he's gonna jump from the rail to the ring, or vice versa, or like that. That's really what I always saw from Sabu. But can Sabu go out there and just put on a regular match and like entertain a crowd, make the crowd pop, and tell a story? I don't know. Please send me the videos. I want to see them. Okay, I never saw them. I hated Sandman. Sandman was trash. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And look, I'm a fan of Metallica, by the way. Okay, but he was over. Everybody was singing Enter Sandman. Like, bro, that's not his song, bro. That's fucking Metallica. Okay? It wasn't him being over. The song was over. What did he do but just hit people with Kindle sticks? What else did he do? That's all Sandman did. Just hit people with Kindle sticks and smash a fucking beer can over his head. People thought it was cool. See, it's real. He's hitting himself with a real can. Well, he did do that, Cholo, but I know that. Like the lights would go off and he would point at the sky. RVD was good. I thought RVD was really good. You know what I mean? RVD was really good. RVD's cool. I really pushed for, like, I really wanted RVD to get his push. I thought the Mr. Monday Night thing was good. I thought, he could have became a big star, but And when they finally gave him the belt, he wanted to smoke weed. It is what it is. Dude, Jay Marshall, Tommy Dreamer, bro, and he's another one of those guys that like, oh, this is what I want it to be, and I believed in the cause, and all that dumb bullshit. Okay, these guys became marks for themselves. Okay, like them and their cult following became marks for themselves. All right, to this day, like 50 years old, chanting ECW at random events. Like, it's fucking like stop. Okay. Terry Funk, I mean, unfortunately, at a later age, man, was doing those hardcore matches. I don't know if that was smart. You know what I mean? I thought that was kind of dumb, but hey, it's on him. Lance Storm was really good. Lance Storm was probably one of the best motherfuckers to come out of ECW. They did nothing with him in WCW. Other than what did he do? He was like a poor man's version of Bret Hart doing the Canadian thing. Okay? That's what they had him do. DStyleBoxing RVD was really, really good. He was innovative. Okay. Look, I love Eddie Guerrero. I do. And Eddie was an amazing worker, right? And his frog splash was really good. Don't get me wrong. But RVD had a better frog splash. Just got to keep it real. RVD's frog splash was like the hang time and like the way he landed it, sold it. Top notch. Like I believe like nobody should have been doing the frog splash, just RVD when he was in WWE. But and till this day, even like a lot of the wrestlers today are really good. Like aerial guys off the top rope, they can't do a frog splash like RVD. I haven't seen it personally. I see Kevin Owens do it. Dude, you know what I mean? Like I haven't really seen anybody do it like Eddie, but like RVD. Eddie Guerrero's frog splash was good. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? It looked really good, but I just felt RVD did it better. What do you guys think? Guerrero RVD, just a frog splash. Mike Awesome could have been some. He could have been some. But he had a lot of big guys to compete with. You know what I mean? So I agree with that. Eddie was a better technical wrestler for sure. I don't like D'Lo Brown's frog splash for the. I don't. D'Lo was hilarious though, bro. Like the neck thing, like his neck would move from here to here. It was crazy, No, don't get me wrong. Like Eddie was better overall. You could argue than but I'm asking about the frog splash specifically. Already would jump on the top rope in one motion. He wouldn't like exit the ring and climb up. He would sell it in one motion, right? And then he would jump off. I think he did it higher than everybody. I think he landed it very well. He sold it very well. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about specifically. Frog splash or Macho Man's elbow drop. I know what happened with that, Bruce goes. Yeah. A lot of finishers aren't finishers anymore. RVD Impact made it better. I agree with that. 5-star frog splash. Yeah. Rhino was all right. Rhino was like a poor man's version of Goldberg to me, but to the little ECW guys, he looked like a monster. You know what I mean? But he just, he didn't look that devastating next to the big dudes in WWE. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But frog splashing a dude like Tommy Dreamer, he looked devastating. I was going to address the question here. All right, I never seen that Montez Ford's guy. So I haven't caught up with wrestling a lot in the last recent years, by the way. You know what I mean? Like I seen like some dudes do, like Billy Kidman was the first that I saw with my eyes do the shooting star press, but I seen some people do it a lot better than him, like on NXT. Some highlights. I was going to address the question and I lost it. What? Is Smoky Mountain Wrestling still around? I think wasn't that like their old NXT? Seth Rollins Frog Splash, not a fan of it. A Frog Splash doesn't look right if the guy's like, how can I say it? I think it's too tall. I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's a frog splash. Like frogs have, like they don't have like long ass legs. Okay, so like I'm just saying, like, it worked for RVD because yeah, like it just worked. I haven't watched AEW wrestling that much, H Money, so I don't have a sincere opinion about it. But I see some highlights that don't impress me. Got to be honest. I'm gonna touch on New Age wrestling right now. Seth Rollins has some really good moves, but RVD would do 180 minute. I remember those. Like I remember, and that's what. Yeah, it was really good. I'm gonna look up that one dude. I'll be surprised if he's better than RVD and Rock Splash. Surprised. Harlem Hangover. Dude, there was a comment that I was about to address, and I can't find it. Like I don't remember what comment it was. It was owned by Jim Cornette. Okay, I remember that. Okay. Well, didn't Smoky Mountain Wrestling have? Didn't they? Isn't that like where Lesnar made his? No, that was OVW, right? Ohio Valley. I'm confusing it with Ohio Valley Wrestling. My bad. That's right. Once I set the initials, I remembered. Right. Do you think RVD had more charisma in his career? Could have gone further in WWE because, honestly, he wasn't that good on the mic. He wasn't that good on the mic, compared obviously to the top guys. But I kind of disagree that he didn't have charisma. I mean, he seemed like a pretty chill dude, like a surfer guy type of thing, But he could have improved the storytelling before the match for sure. I'll say that. I did feel that he should have beaten Triple H when he's getting that initial push. Like Triple H could have always beat him back for the title, but they never got it. But he was coming to his own, and then the dude got busted with weed, and I thought weed fit his character. Like I think, but hey, he probably worked better when he was high. Who fucking knows, I don't. TNA like TNA was okay when it was associated with NWA, believe it or not, because there was like a wrestling element to it. I remember AJ Styles was the NWA champion. He was working with Jeff Jarrett, like that old school. I believe Jeff Jarrett owned it at the time. Old school TNA, that NWA TNA, I really liked it a lot. And it was still okay, but then once Hogan, Bischoff, even Russo started getting involved, it just fucked everything up. Because they were starting to become sports entertainment, and you're not going to beat the WWF at their own game. You know what I mean? So, Lucha, I actually didn't mind Lucha Underground. It was different. I watched some of it, to be honest. Not all of it, but I watched some of it. Boxing Dollar, I used to watch it, man, when I was a kid. Every Saturday morning. Or was it Sunday morning? I don't remember, but I used to watch it. It's probably Saturday morning because that parents would take us to church. You know what I mean? So Sundays. So like, yeah, los rudos contra los, man, I forgot. It was fun, man. Like that's why, like, to me, like I remember when people would be blown away by the cruiserweights in WCW. I was like, man, I watch that shit every Saturday morning. You know what I mean? So like every other dude was doing those moves, But But I was a big fan of the cruiserweight division in WCW, 100%. They should have kept it that way, you know. But they kept burying them, and they never uplifted the title, you know. So that's that. I did, and I recommend watching the original Cruiserweight tournament that WWE did on the WWE Network. Vince had no hand in that tournament, and you could tell. Okay? And it was some really good wrestling. They had some really good Mexican wrestlers there. It was some great stuff. I recommend it 100%. That was all wrestling, and I enjoyed it, you know. But then they started 205 Live, and Vince was involved, and I don't know what the fuck that was. This shit's horrible. So Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Chris Jericho, Lance Storm, Kane, Sonny, Chris Candido, New Jack. Okay, bro, I feel bad for Chris Candido, brother. He was in love with Sonny. And I hear some of the stories, bro, and I feel bad for him, bro. Like what the clique tortured that dude. Like, you know what they would do to Chris Candido? Because Sonny was having an affair with Sean, right? And it was one of those, like, nobody said it, but everybody knew it was happening, you know? And a lot of wrestlers, even till this day, say, like, at first I felt sorry for the guy, but then when I saw he wasn't doing anything about it, I was like, well, fuck this dude. You know what I mean? But yeah. It is what it is. Poor dude. Ryback was not a fan of Ryback at all. Didn't like the guy. Lieutenant Girl was pretty badass. Yeah, I didn't mind it at all. It was pretty good. I mean, you would think they were. Didn't like they copied Lieutenant Girl? Like WWE did some shit with the Wyatt family, and even like I think even like TNA did something with the Hardy brothers, like that. No, like I'm pretty sure. Like to me, it was like they were copying like the Lucha Underground stuff. Jim Cornette, and I think Undertaker and AJ Styles had a match on last year's WrestleMania. I didn't. That's the first WrestleMania I didn't watch in a long time, but they did something like that, from my understanding. All right, shout out to Cholo Boxing, brother. I've seen some of Jim Cornette stuff. I haven't watched AW like that, brother. I couldn't answer you. WWC in Puerto Rico, okay. Saturday Candido Dirty. Shawn Michaels is a piece of shit for that too. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Shawn Michaels found love with Sonny and then wanted her to move in with him. And then she told him, "Well, nah, I'm gonna stay with Chris." And Shawn got really mad about that. But well, what did Ryback do to Mark Henry? Wow. Well, China, pretty much, right? The same thing happened to her when Triple H started dating the daughter, of the owner. There you go. There you go. Today's wrestling. Let's talk about today's wrestling. So some of you have asked me about AEW and all that. Look, man. Let me see if I can find something really quick. Let me see this. Somebody asked me about I don't have the wrestling channel yet, but I'll be sharing it this week. It'll be a wrestling channel only. Okay. Let's see. I know I can't find it, but it is what it is. Bobby says, "Who do I blame for the downfall of wrestling?" Cena, Vince, or Meltzer? I think a series of things happen. Okay. One, it's good to have competition. I don't care what anybody says. All right. It's going to push you to do things that you know what I mean? That's why WWF got so creative in the Attitude Era, because they had to compete for ratings. So I think the downfall of ECW, whoever you want to blame for that, all right, has a lot to do with that. Personally. So, and then 99, also when WWF went public, hurt the business a little bit, because now you have stockholders and there's only certain things you could do on TV now. And then also, I don't know who to blame for this exactly, but the identity of wrestling. And yes, the Chris Paul tragedy definitely hurt it. The steroid stuff hurt it a little bit. No doubt about it, because of the bad media press. But I think the rise of MMA hurt wrestling a little bit. I mean, it's a very similar fan base. I see it all the time here on YouTube. But wrestling lost its identity. And I'm not even talking about kayfabe and all that. I'm not talking about all that. Keeping kayfabe was impossible in this age. Even if WWF tried, they couldn't do it. Okay? So there's no such thing as kayfabe anymore by the mere fact that everything's open now, right? But its identity has no identity. It's nothing feels important when I watch it. Nothing. I could watch a movie and something can feel important. You know what I mean? Like I could watch a TV show and I know all these things are scripted and it's actors, but it could feel important. Wrestling doesn't feel important. Like, when's the last time you watched a regular, just a wrestling match, and you really felt like, okay, this guy really needs to win this match? Like, without needing to be told that there's a stipulation or something. Like, because you just know that winning is important and losing is not a good thing, right? Like, the more you win, the higher you go up the ladder. The more you lose, the lower you go down the ladder. Wrestling lost its identity. The matches are just random. Like, I'm expected to believe, like, let's just think about this for a moment, right? So I don't know how they do it now, okay? But I remember I would watch Raw and, like, all the matches, all of them, okay, were, like, made by the wrestlers themselves. Like, two guys would be in the back talking shit to each other, and it'd be like, oh, yeah, well, meet me in the ring tonight, all right? And then, like, or something like that. Or somebody would walk in on the GM's office and demand the match with so-and-so, and that's how the match would happen, right? So, granted, we all know it is, all the matches are already predetermined. They already know who's going to wrestle that night. But they want to tell the story that none of the matches were official until during live on the air. So like here's the thing. Subconsciously, the last thing you want people to say when they're watching, whether it's a movie, whether it's wrestling, anything that's make-believe, whatever, the last thing you want people to say to themselves is, okay, that's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, that's the last thing you want people to say. Right? Or that makes no fucking sense. You don't want them to say that. Like, how could you not already have matches set? And then how is the main event? So you're telling me the main event is just random? I don't know if they still open Raw like this or not, but it would always start with someone walking out to the ring, cutting a promo. Somebody would come out, interrupt them, challenge them to a match of some sort, and then if they wanted a triple threat, somebody else would come out, and you know what I mean? Like that's how they determine who was going to face somebody for a championship, right? Hey guys, WrestleMania is over. John Cena retained the title. Who's going to face him at Backlash? Well, what they would do, it was always the same fucking thing. GM will come out and be like, hey, John Cena won the match. A dude will come out, Cesaro. Oh, I want to fight John Cena at Backlash. You get to just demand it. And then somebody else will come out. No, I deserve the match. And then, no, I do. And then before you knew it, 4 or 5 dudes are in the ring. And then what we're going to do is a 6-pack challenge. Like, what? So you don't even, that's how you determine a number one contender? Like, what is this? So that kills, what that does essentially, right? It killed the chase, right? It killed the ability for a wrestler to slowly build himself up, right? And you can kind of see like everyone knew, like after WrestleMania 13, like everyone kind of like knew, like, yeah, like Stone Cold, he's gonna be fighting for a championship soon. Surely enough, by WrestleMania 14, they worked it that way. You know what I mean? But they don't do that anymore. Point blank, period. It used to be cool to be a wrestling fan, says Bruce goes. There you go. Bobby Krepek. The only time I value winning is changing a stale title run or to build up a rising star. When Stone Cold Steve Austin, let me just show you the difference between now and then. How devastating a loss was sold back then, okay? Stone Cold Steve Austin cost Bret Hart his title against Sid Vicious, or Cycle Sid, as they called him at the time. All right? That's what they called him at the time. Stone Cold did a promo the next night on Raw, or the following night on Raw. And he said, Stone Cold Steve Austin cost me my championship. I worked hard to get my shot. I may never get another shot again thanks to Stone Cold, right? He sold it as that. Like, it's supposed to feel like it's, that's why my last straw was when they gave the belt to Jinder Mahal, because that was just blatant. That was just retarded. You know what I mean? Jinder Mahal was a jobber for like 5 straight years. Hadn't won a singles match in years. I'm not even exaggerating. Okay? Then he gets put in a 6-pack challenge. And then he'd be trying to order for a title. Made no sense. I'm like, they're insulting my intelligence. Why am I watching this? They're like, well, you know what I mean? That killed it for me. And I believe shit like that hurts the business. Like, everyone has their last straw, and WWE has had a pattern of last straws. And I think over time, the business got hurt because of it. You know? Now, why have they had so many last straws? Because they don't have any serious competition. There's nobody else competing with them. And that's that. I mean, that's what it is. I don't know what happened in the chat there. You're almost home, Bruce Goes. You're almost home, brother. I don't know where Bruce Goes is at, but hopefully he's almost home. Look, what I don't like about today's wrestling is, first of all, that, okay? It's not that kayfabe isn't a thing no more. And like, bro, I knew wrestling was fake when I was 6 years old. Like it's not like a thing. You know what I mean? But I do want them to keep kayfabe during the show. You know? That's my opinion. I don't give a fuck about what they do on social media on their spare time, but during the show, like, keep the kayfabe, you know? But wrestling has lost its identity. Like, let me give you a couple examples. I talked about some of these. I could wait, Brusco. I still need a time limit, or time, that is. Think about, like, for those that grew up watching wrestling, right? I grew up watching wrestling. When you hear guys do promos now and challenge people to a match, they don't say match anymore. They say fight, right? I remember when Mark Henry, somebody mentioned him earlier, first made his debut on WWF, right? The Strongest Man, right? And Jerry Lawler was one of the first guys to work a program with him. And Jerry Lawler's like shredding him on the mic. And Mark Henry sells that. He's tired of it. He puts the mic down and he gets his hands up and says, "Come on, let's go then," right? He puts his hands up like this. Jerry Lawler has a mic in his hand. He goes, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. This isn't the World Fighting Federation. This is the World Wrestling Federation," right? And Mark Henry then he gets the mic and it says, well, I'm going to work out. I'm new to this. I'm going to work at this, blah, 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 right? Okay. So it's lost its identity. Now you got guys like ding, ding, the match starts, and they're like in a boxing pose. You know what I mean? They're like this, like trying to jab. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? It's stupid. I know maybe to some people out there it's like not a big deal, but think about it. Why would someone watch fake fighting when they could watch real fighting? If they want to watch somebody go out like this, they're going to watch UFC, they're going to watch boxing, kickboxing, where people are doing it for real. Okay? Why would they watch it in wrestling for? Seriously, it's a fundamental common sense question. Okay? It's something they always separated when they would have boxers, come to like go ref matches and stuff, and things like that. Like they would always protect the business in that way, right? It lost its identity. You got to have guys like throwing leg kicks now. And I'm like, what are you doing? Leg kicks? Stop. Okay? What are you doing? All right, no problem, Bruscos. But what are you doing? I know what a lot of people are going to say. Oh, but they used to kick back. Yes, I know. Bruno used to hit guys with uppercuts and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Since the Vern Gagne days, they would like pop each other with a punch here and there. Like, I get it. Okay? But they would get warned by the ref. Okay? The ref would go like this. Hey! You know what I mean? Guys climb the top rope now, and the ref's not telling them to get back in the ring. Batista, what's the big deal? What do you mean? Why is the ref even there then if he's not going to enforce the rules? Like, what's the point? Like, you use the rules to tell a story. I'm going to make a video about that tonight or sometime today, Accounting for sure. I owe the boxing guys a boxing video. You know what I mean? While Jay Marshall, like the super kick worked when only one guy was doing it. Now everybody does it. Okay? But here's the deal. What should be first and what should be detailed and what should be like the main like thing you sell to people is the wrestling. All right? Everything you do around that should be extra things to get a pop, to get a reaction, to get heat, or something like that. That's what it should be. If you start off a match throwing leg kicks, right? Then when you throw a leg kick when you're mad or something, it's not going to stand out. The crowd's not going to react to it. Okay? Like that doesn't make sense. If you start a match like this, like throwing punches, when it's supposed to be a wrestling contest, then punches don't mean anything anymore. So what they used to do, right? Have you ever like watched like one of those horror movies? You know what I mean? And I don't know if they do this in horror movies anymore. I'm not a big movie buff anymore, but a lot of horror movies, okay? You would watch them, and certain things would like frustrate you, but they were working you. You know what I mean? That's what they were doing. And it'd always be like when the monster or whoever was walking behind a person with a knife and they wouldn't turn around, like, turn around! Like, you know what I mean? Like that those type of reactions, that's what wrestling needs to get out of people. If you're not getting those type of reactions from people, if you're not making people go, hey, ref, look at what he did. Like, if you're not doing that, then you've lost the art form, right? That's what you've done. The whole thing, the heel will distract the referee, then boom, punch the good guy, and then the fans will get mad. Like, oh, he's cheating. Look, right? And they will get frustrated with the ref because the ref would never catch the bad guy cheating, right? Now, I'm not saying it all has to be like that, but there has to be a formula of some sort. Now everybody's throwing punches, even when the ref's looking. The refs don't even warn them anymore. Just let it happen. You know what I mean? Choking guys used to, hey, no choking. 1, 2, 3, like break it or whatever, right? Guy, I mean, this is stupid, dude. Guys are fighting outside the ring. The ref's not counting. Like, why aren't you counting to 10? Like, what is this? So the whole arena's a ring then, or what? Like, what is this? So there's a lot like that's missing in the business right now. They've lost their way. Like they've worked their way out of their work. In other words, that's what they've done. But yeah, and now everything's a spot fest, right? Instead of getting the crowd involved in the match, right, and working the crowd, the crowd is working the wrestlers. What's going on, Jay Marshall? How's it going? Some of the best storytelling I've seen is on NXT. Once in a while, I'll watch a match from NXT, and it's better than anything I'm watching on Raw and SmackDown. It's just better. So I haven't tried AEW yet, but I don't know if I will. I never seen that match, Jay Marshall. I never seen that match. Billy Corgan owns it. That's the Smashing Pumpkins guy. He owns NWA. I just don't know what to think about NWA. I'll say this is one of my favorite looking belts. That's probably my second favorite behind the classic Wing Eagle belt. But look, That's all I got to say. I'll be setting up a wrestling channel. And put in a community page and stuff so you guys will know. Right? And we're going to do some panels and stuff and talk this shit. So, and one more thing. People don't even know what a good worker is anymore. I can ask you guys in the chat, and half of you probably get it wrong. What makes a good worker? Go ahead, chat. Tell me what a good worker is. I would love to know. What makes a good worker? Some people might say, oh, it's your moveset. Some people might say, it's pretty much what people think. How many backflips and how many moves out the top rope and how innovative can they do the moves in the ring. That's what people will think. At least the New Age fans, that's what I get out of them. That's what they think a worker is. But no. A good worker is someone that can work the crowd. Okay? When they got the crowd in the palm of their hands. Whatever your style is, that's a worker. Okay? When you're able to sell a story to the crowd and get them invested, get them on their feet because they don't know what's going to happen and they care and they're really into it, and that's a worker. All right? It's not how many backflips you do. It's not any of that. Okay? And it's not cheap pops. It's not a spot fest. That's how being a good worker is. So, the $1 million belt's okay. I mean, it's all right. It's not that good, but it is what it is. I'm out, guys. Peace. Hold on. Stop, G-Funky. Stop, brother. Okay? ECW was trash. Right? That's all I'm going to say. ECW is trash. That's all I'm going to say. What's up, Mr. Sinister? I'll be doing a boxing video in a little bit. But I have something really serious to talk about. Okay? So, I don't know if it'll be in the next 15 minutes, hour. I don't know. I'm going to go to something right now. But, so, be on the lookout and hit that bell button so you're notified and have something real serious to talk about. So, I'll be back. Peace out, everybody.